Hey, what's going on, Nitrocytes? It is the Nitro General here. Welcome back to another video. This isn't going to be a normal video. I'm not even totally sure if I'm going to upload it. This is just kind of a thing for me. I may upload it just to post it, just to post it, but there's a reason why, the lights aren't on and everything like that. It's just my fish tank light on here to give a little bit of a so you can see my face. But, this is just going to be a little bit of a different video. You might get a little emotional. I might get a little emotional. But it's just something that I've kind of seen and something for me to get my experience out there. And I just wanted to make this video. So if this isn't something for you guys, if this is something that you like, then feel free to click off the video. I'm not posting this for views. I'm not posting this for subscribers. I'm not even going to say subscribe or anything like that. But if you guys want to watch the video, if you just want to click off, do something else, and just listen to my story, then feel free. But this is just more for me than it is for anyone else. So this video, as you guys can tell, is going to be my story of the friend that I lost. Now, this isn't, when I mean lost, I don't mean died. He's still living. He's completely fine, I guess, but just a friend that I would have considered more of a brother that I'm not friends with anymore. And to be honest, it hurts me to the core, but just want to, get out my experience. But so, just to give a little bit of a backstory, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, in country, middle of nowhere, no kids for miles around. My family was the most normal family that you would think of. My mom was a teacher and my dad was a firefighter. We lived in a big house, a very, very big house, for 10, 11 years, up until my parents got divorced when I was 11, and then I kind of moved into different houses and everything. But I was a weird kid, as you guys can probably guess if you've seen any of my other videos. But yeah, I was a weird kid. Since I lived out in the middle of nowhere with no kids for miles around, there was one girl that lived close to me, but she didn't even go to the same school as me. But our dads worked together in the fire department, so we were kind of forced to hang out together. I don't even talk to her anymore. I haven't talked to her really. I haven't really talked to her in almost 10 years, really. So, but so when I went to school, I never really had a friend group. I was kind of a kid that would wander and talk to the kids that I talked to and hang out with the kids that I hung out with. And it didn't even really register until I was in like middle school that kids are supposed to have specific friend groups. I was just hung out with, multiple kids. There was one kid that we'll call him Kyle that I hung out with in like third or fourth grade when he moved to the school, and we were sort of close. He came over to my house a couple times, but nobody that I'd really consider a best friend. It was just a guy I hung out with. And then up until about 8th grade, that was just everything that I did, because I was not a popular kid. I was just kind of a wanderer. Like I said before, I just kind of hung out with the kids I hung out with. Since I lived out in the middle of nowhere, I never had the experience of, going and riding a bike to a friend's house or something like that. To this day, I don't even really know how to ride a bike, because I just never had anywhere to ride the bike, so I just never did. But in 8th grade is when it all kind of changed, is when this guy moved to the school. We'll call him Connor. And the whole video is about this guy named Connor. And he moved from, I think it was Texas. And he was, of course, since I was a wanderer still at that point, I think it was either 7th or 8th grade. I think it was 8th, but I don't really remember. So we just kind of, might have been 7th. I think it was 7th. I think God, I don't remember. I think it was seventh or eighth grade. Doesn't I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but um, he was a new kid in the school, and I basically decided to hang out with him, and that is when we kind of created our own little friend group. It was me, Kyle, Connor, and this other new kid that had moved to the school. Um, I'm not going to give him a name because he's not really pertinent to the story, but it was kind of just the four of us. We would go home at night and we would play Minecraft together online on our Xboxes. We would play Call of Duty sometimes, an early Call of Duty game. I don't remember which one it is since I don't really play any of those games. But yeah, and then once ninth grade hit, once we moved into high school, since where I went to high school, ninth grade was considered a freshman in high school. It was a whole different part of the building, and we didn't really have too many classes together. So Kyle kind of moved off, and we didn't have very many classes together. And he ended up moving to a different school, so I still haven't really kept in contact with him. The other kid that I said that we were friends with kind of moved off and went into a different friend group because we didn't have classes together. And Connor moved and hung out with a bunch of other people too. But the difference there is that no matter who he was ever hanging out with, what it never changed is his want to hang out with me. Again, I was a weird nerdy kid that everybody kind of knew but were never really good friends with, and Connor always went out of his way to make me feel like I was wanted. I remember when he started hanging out with these other kids that he changed a little bit. And I remember talking to my mom and saying I hate how Connor changed the way because he started hanging out with these other kids. But what never changed was his want to hang out with me. And I remember there was times when he was coming over almost every weekend, and there were just tons. Almost every weekend he would come over, whether that was just for the day or something like that. We'd go and pick him up, and he'd come back. Just so much. We spent so much time together. Mainly, he'd come over to my house. I have a lot of social anxiety, so I only stayed over at his house once. And that was because he was like, well, why do I always come over to your house, but you don't ever come over to mine? That's a whole different story, but he always came over to the house. We would always, I had a lot of Nerf guns when I was a kid. I still have them somewhere, but like at one of the houses that I lived at after my parents got divorced, I had an entire wall, and I remember I went to the store and used my own money to buy these like pegs that you put in the wall, and then I hung up all the Nerf guns, so I had a whole wall, just two walls, just covered in Nerf guns. And he would come over and we'd pick up our Nerf guns, and I lived right in the village where at that point, so he would come over and we would grab the Nerf guns and we would go run around my backyard or go run around the streets a little bit with the Nerf guns. There was this big hill that was right across from my house. We'd go down there, and there was a little pavilion that we would go down, and we always pretended like there were zombies, and we pretended like this up until like 11th grade. Like when I moved into another house with my mom, he'd come over and we would take the Nerf guns and we'd go out back in the woods, right? Because we were so close, and we would shoot the zombies with the Nerf guns. We'd never actually bring the bullets out because we didn't want to lose the bullets. But yeah, we would. Since when I moved into the new house, we had a pool. We have a pool out in the backyard, a really really big in-ground pool, and every time he came over, every single time, my mom would make spaghetti, and because it was just easy to make spaghetti, and we would play Xbox or whatever. I remember most of the time it was just GTA, us screwing around with cheats or whatever. And when I finally got online, we would run around and screw around and play that game, or Left 4 Dead, which is a zombie game. If you guys know what that is, we must have played through Left 4 Dead 2 probably more than 2 times. Played through all the campaigns, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 campaigns, so many times. And at midnight, we'd go out and we'd go swimming, always at midnight, and then we'd come back inside and have a bowl of spaghetti at whatever time when we were still like soaking wet, and then we'd go back in and we'd play more video games, and then we'd watch a movie or something. We'd go to bed, and that was our schedule, no matter what we did, because that was just always. We'd take the four-wheeler out back in the woods. We'd drive around. There was a bird out there that was always out there. We nicknamed him Carl, and he would follow us around on the four-wheeler. And, I remember one time the bird, like, leapt onto my back on the back of the four-wheeler. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because I didn't even know what it was. And I, like, leaned forward, and Connor turned around, and he went, whew, and he pushed, and he, like, shoved the bird that was, like, on my back off. But, we had a lot of fun. I remember one night, at like 1 a.m. we were swimming, and he really, really wanted pizza pockets. And this was after he got his license, and I still didn't get my license. I didn't get my license until I was 20, and I'm 21 right now. So I've only had my license for a little over a year. But he always had his license, and he had his car immediately when he turned 16. So we went to Walmart at like 2 a.m. to buy pizza pockets, and that was a very memorable moment for me. And throughout high school, he always kind of hung out with other people. But no matter what, he was always there for me. He would give me the best, advice. I remember there was one time in like 10th or 11th grade, I was having issues with a girl that I thought I was in a relationship with. I don't really consider any relationships in high school relationships, but... And I remember the exact text that he sent me was, you shouldn't be worrying over her. You're making her out to be a god among kings, when in reality she's a peasant among kings. And that kind of sounds stupid now, but in the moment I was like, whoa, like, that's really good advice. And I'm an only child. I don't have any brothers. I don't have any sisters. Now I have stepsisters. I have 5 stepsisters. 2 on my dad's side, 3 on my mom's side, because they got remarried. But I was never close to any of them. I was never really... None of them were my age. They were either older than me or younger than me. There was one that was around my age. She was a few years younger than me, but we never really got super, super close. But no matter what, he was always there for me. That's the point. And he was like a brother to me. That's how close, because I never actually had my own brother, and he was like a brother to me. The closest people that I was the closest to, like I said at the beginning of the video, is my cousins. We'd hang out almost every weekend. My mom would go and pick them up. Now, 10, 15 years later, we don't even talk anymore. One of them had a kid. Actually, the other one's going to have a kid right now, and the other one I don't even know where she is right now. But so Connor was always, my best friend, and I knew that no matter what happened after high school, that I'd never have to worry about not having anybody, because he'd always be there for me. So it was a little rough. After high school, I had a rough patch, and I made a mistake, and but no matter what, he was still there. He was a brother to me. He'd still come over every night. We'd go for walks and everything like that. And even after I graduated high school, I realized that this group of friends that I was hanging out with, that all of them except for 2 people, excluding, because Connor wasn't in that group, that all of them but 2 people were just assholes who were making fun of me, and I just thought they were being friends, but I didn't realize that until after high school. So I kind of ditched all of them except for these 2. One of them I don't talk to anymore, and the other one I consider now is I'm as close to as a brother. And we were super close in high school, but we were never as close as Connor and I were. We'll call him Kevin. So yes, Kevin and I are really, really close now, still. But I still don't think we're at the level of Connor and I. And so it was really weird because, I went through a rough patch and everything like that, like I said. And even after I graduated and I went to college and he went to the same college, and he was always there for me still. I used to see him on campus a lot, and we'd talk and everything like that. And I remember the first day I was walking into the campus, and I was really, really nervous. And I hear him go, "Hey, yo, Clemens," which is my last name. And I turned around, and I was like, he was right there, and we walked, and he's like, "You know where your class is?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." So we kind of separated our ways, and we went to our classes, and uh, uh, soon after that, I would text him, and he just wouldn't text me back, and I still don't know totally why, but he left, and it was really rough for me because, like I said, he was like my brother. He was my brother. We hung out so much. It was crazy. My mom loved him. It was the only guy, one of my only friends that she would let come over because she liked him so much. And uh, it was just weird. And so eventually he just stopped texting me, and eventually I just gave up trying to text him back. Um, and to this day, I haven't spoken with him, and there's a few times he blocked me on Facebook. I still follow his Instagram. Every once in a while, he'll post something now, but he's never on there, so he probably didn't worry about blocking me on there. But and I don't understand why. I think it was because I screwed up, and he he decided that he didn't want to be friends with me anymore. And no matter what, no matter who I talked to, everybody in my family who knew him was like, it's so weird of him not like him to just stop texting me, because we were so close. I could literally tell him anything. No matter what was on my mind, I knew that I could text him, and no matter what, he would be there for me. And, Kevin and I still talk a lot, but the thing is with Kevin, it's weird that I still can't talk to him in the way that I could talk to Connor, even though we're super close. And I've gotten super close to texting him. I still have his number. I don't know if he's blocked my number or what, but I've gotten so super close to texting him. I don't even know if he has got the still number, but and just talking to him. But at the same time, I just tried so much to get a hold of him, and he never responded. So it's been rough. And the whole point of this video is just to kind of get my story out there, to talk about how having somebody in my life that was as close to a brother, and then just having him leave like he did, was one of the roughest things in my life. And I don't think I could ever, I'm never going to forget him. We had so much fun together. It was some of the best times of my life. We're talking with him. He got me listening to the music that I like. He got me listening to 21 Pilots, My Chemical Romance, not this band that's on my shirt, but Panic at the Disco, all of that stuff, which led me into more rock music. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be listening to the music that I love. And music is my favorite thing on the face of this earth. And he got me watching my top 2 favorite TV shows. That Doctor Who and Supernatural are my favorite TV shows of all time, and he got me watching both of them. My everything about what I love, most of it originated from him, and I will forever be thankful for the experiences and everything that he gave me. And I remember my senior year in high school. I got yearbooks from 6th grade up to 12th grade. And I never got anybody to sign. That was one of my biggest high school regrets, is not getting anybody to sign my yearbook until my last 2 years of high school. And in my last year of my high school, my senior yearbook, he wrote me a note. He came over, and I finally got him to sign my yearbook. And I look at that yearbook so many times and look at his signature, because it just crushes me, because he said, you were really my first friend at the school, so thank you. We should go to a concert this summer and maybe try and catch Carl, which was, like I said, the bird. And I was so excited, because my first concert was, I think it was 2016. 2016. And I went with Kevin, actually, and I had a lot of fun. It was a Blink-182 concert with All Time Low, which is the shirt that I'm wearing, and A Day to Remember. And again, wouldn't have listened to any of those bands if it wasn't for Connor, almost said his real name, getting me into the music that I listen to. And I read that yearbook so many times, that signature so many times, because, you know, it just hurts to read that and then know that he just decided that I wasn't somebody he wanted to hang out with. And I'm not gonna lie, it really screwed up my self-esteem a lot more than anything else really has, because of somebody who could be so close, who could just get up and leave like the flick of a switch. Like, I never thought he'd be able to. But I mean, we hung out with 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So 6 years I knew the guy. 6 or 7 years I knew him, and we were so close. And I will be forever thankful for everything that he gave me. And do I wish that it turned out different? Of course I do. Of course I do. I wouldn't change anything for the world. Of course I would have changed the mess up, but if it wasn't for that, I don't know if he'd still be here, if that was what, or I don't even know. But all I know is that I have been through so many experiences since then that I would have killed to have him there. Just the text, you know, panic attacks and everything like that. Just to have somebody to tell me, you know, that it's gonna be okay. And of course, you know, everybody, I can't really text Kevin, because I mean, I can, but he just, I don't know, it's kind of weird, is that two guys can't, it's always stereotypical that they can't share their emotions with each other. But I could share them so well with Connor, but with Kyle, it's harder for me to share my emotions with him. And I don't know, it's just, I miss him. I really do. But like I said, I am forever thankful for everything that he gave me. And there's not a day going by, there will never a day go by that I'll forget about him. I mean, my mom still has pictures up on the wall of me and him from when he came over. No matter what, he will always be one of the biggest influential people in my life. And I really hope that someday we will cross paths again. But to end this video off, I kind of just wanted to do a little talk to him. Now, Connor, if you're watching the video, I'm sure you know who you are. There's no way that you could watch this video and not know. But I just want to say, Connor, I love you, and you were a brother to me, and no matter what happened, no matter anything, I understand if you don't ever want to reach out again. But just know that I'm here if you ever do. I thank you for everything that you've done, from helping me in situations that I needed help in, to getting me to like the things that I liked. But as much as I thank you for everything, I do want you to know that by leaving like you did, it screwed me up, man. And you know what, if you were to come back, I'd probably forgive you for everything and just be like, I'm so glad to have, you back in my life. But I can't, you know, I can't have you back in my life because I doubt you'll ever want to. But if you do see this video, somehow, some way, by some miracle that you stumble across this video, I just want you to know that you were you gave me the best experiences of my life, some of the best experiences of being a kid, and you gave me a lot of the experiences as a teenager that I didn't get as a kid. That's not riding a bike, that's riding in your car and going to places. That's, I don't know, man. It's just, I thank you for being who you were to me in high school. And I am so incredibly sorry that what happened. And if that's why you left, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a better person, and I would love to think that I am a better person. And you may have screwed up my mental health a lot by just leaving, but I also wouldn't be the person that I am if I didn't have you. I'll never forget all the times, all the good times that we shared, all the bad times that we shared. I'll never forget the time that we were in the pool, and like when I was in like 10th, when we were in like 10th grade, and I told you, and I told you about a girl that I thought was cute, and you said that you knew her, and then you would text her for me, and we got out, and you did, and then you realized it wasn't the right girl, and I ended up talking with her anyways because you felt bad that it was the wrong girl, and you didn't just want to text her back that she was wrong, and now we can laugh on it, but in that moment, I knew you were like, oh my god, I can't believe it's not the right girl, after you'd already texted her. And it's just so, we had so many good times, and as much as I wish that you were here, I am thankful for everything that you gave me. So this is a message to the best friend that I lost, the brother that I lost, the therapist that I lost, because he was everything. He was just, I'll never be able to look at those Nerf guns ever again and not think of him, not think of the times that we arranged them into different weapons, ran out in the woods. I'll never forget the times I wouldn't be into fish tanks, my biggest hobby, no matter what, if it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you, man. You gave me the first 2 fish that I ever had because yours had babies, and it blossomed into my biggest hobby of all time. I have 2 fish tanks now, and again, the music I listen to, the TV shows I watch, my hobbies, everything is because of you. And thank you. That's, I guess, all I wanted to say. But I also don't know if I could forgive you for just walking out. But like I said, if you were to come back, I don't know. But so if you're seeing this video right now, that means I did decide to post it. Like I said, I don't totally know if I'm going to or not, just because it is a rough subject, and if you're seeing it, then obviously I did. But I kind of just wanted to have this for me. But I really hope you enjoyed, if you did watch this. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out. If you did watch it, then I thank you. Don't feel the need to leave a like or anything like that. It's just a way of me getting my feelings out without talking to myself and sounding like a madman. So yeah, but that is it for me. Like, again, Connor, if you are watching this somehow, which I doubt you will ever see this, but if you do, just know that I'm sorry for everything, for every single thing that I ever did that was wrong to you or anything like that or made you leave. I'm so, so, so incredibly sorry. But, and as much as I'm mad that you are gone, again, just thank you for everything you gave me. But, that is it for me. Don't want to keep rambling on for too much longer. It is currently 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just decided to make this video because my depression was like, yeah. But, alright. Thank you guys for watching the video. Again, if you saw it, but this might just be for me. I don't know. But other than that, guys, that is it for me. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you have a friend that was like a brother or a sister to you, just like Connor was to me, don't mess it up. Because don't mess it up like I did. Because no matter what, I'm telling you, it is so much worse than you ever think it is to lose a friend like that. It's so much worse than you would ever think. And I wouldn't wish that pain on anybody. It has been 2 years, almost 2 years probably since I talked to him. Probably a year and a half, 2 years almost. Yeah, I don't know, a year and a half maybe, 2 years since I've talked to him, and the pain is still there. The pain is still there. Listening to the songs that we listen to, and I wouldn't say I want to forget it because I wouldn't change anything that happened for the world because he was there. I'm just saying, it's just, if you have a friend like that, don't screw it up. And if something happens, just talk to them. Just make sure that they know how much you care and how much you want them in your life still. Just explain yourself. Don't try to hide it. So that's it, I guess. Thanks for watching.